this is Therese and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be me discussing the 5 books that were the biggest disappointments of 2021. If you guys like this video, hit like, subscribe, and comment. I do post these kinds of videos at least once a year. But if you would like me to do these videos on a more frequent basis, let me know and I'll figure out how to make that happen for 2022. Sure. Okay. So I'm gonna do this in no particular order. Clear. In no particular order, because while I do love shitting on books that I just did not like, I just don't want to put a rate, like a standard to it to be like, this is the one that I hated the most. Because y'all probably know what I hated the most if you guys have been following me on this channel for at least a couple months. So we're gonna start off with the audiobooks that I listened to that were just not that great. The first one is The Vanishing Stair by Maureen Johnson. This is a YA mystery thriller set in a very kind of dark academia setting. It's not very dark academia, but you know, people tend to go with that setting and run with it, so why not? But this follows young Stevie Bell as she attends this very interesting school that only lets you study like one particular project. Her particular project and / passion is true crime, specifically the crime that happened at the school in the 1920s where the school owner's wife and daughter were killed and or went missing and their bodies haven't been found since. This was just bad. I couldn't tell, I don't know if it was the audiobook or what, but I was just not a fan of Truly Devious. I felt like it was missing something. And then the second book jumps us several months into the future, and you're stuck filling in weird gaps and just missing bits in situations in like the narrative, and there was just no mystery element. I was just more frustrated with what was happening and how they just kind of kept running into these solutions every single time in this mystery thriller. I was not a fan. The second audiobook that was horribly disappointing was Hidden Bodies by Caroline Kepnes. Now, if y'all know me, I love You. I believe You was my favorite of 2019 or 2020 or one of them. Hidden Bodies was not it. I had been warned by many people to not read Hidden Bodies, but since I had just seen season 3 of You, I was needing some more content, and you know what I did? I read it, or most of it, and then ruined the entire franchise for me. So the first book, You, was very creepy. It was very much just a stalker being super stalkery. Hidden Bodies was like a weird romance with an incel who happened to get sex and who happened to kill people, which some incels tend to do. So it was just not fun. I felt very uncomfortable hearing the sex scenes read aloud to me, knowing that he was a creep and there was no romantic interest in the girl at all. He just liked the idea and the obsession of her. And it lost the second person interest, the narration. We no longer referred to the main girl as You. She was just the name, which lost a lot of the creepiness and turned it from a book that made it interesting to a book that just made my skin crawl. So we'll not be continuing on with the series. I might reread You in 2022, so that way I can forget what the mess was in Hidden Bodies and just enjoy the first book. But this was just not good. I don't recommend it. Please do not read it, listen to it. Just enjoy the TV show and accept that sometimes we don't get everything we want, which is a strong sequel out of a really strong book. The next book is actually my first book, like disappointing book of the year, and that is The Cold in Her Bones. The Cold is in Her Bones by Peter Nell Van Arsdale. I'm so sad because I love this cover, but this is a YA retelling of Medusa set in this town where a curse tends to sweep over the specific town and takes one of the girls. Now in this situation, the curse in this town takes one of her newest friends as she is not allowed to enter town. The premise was interesting. There's a lot of things to say about generational trauma and healing that, as well as the strength of a female friendship. The problem is the pacing was just not it. I don't know where the pacing went with this. It was slow, and then it was fast, and then it was just stagnant, and it just was not it. I'm just very sad because I'm going to be unhauling this book because I had such high expectations, and the cover is so gorgeous, and I love a Greek I love the mythology retelling, as you guys are probably aware, but this was not it. And I don't know what to do about it. It just makes me depressed. It's the best way I can put it. The next one on this list is actually one that I read recently. I will leave that fun little vlog for y'all, link down below, and that is A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. This is an adult Hades and Persephone retelling with some smut, where the gods are around and roaming the earth, but they are just that in name. We don't really see their overbearing power on the mortals, like Hades owns a club. And Persephone is a little goddess among men who's trying to hide and, like, you know, get her, like, degree and be, like, a functioning member of society, as most goddesses try to do. And she runs into Hades. I don't know how, but Hades and Persephone were absolutely boring in this book. There was no character development, there was no romantic development, there was just no development. I still don't exactly entirely know what the plot of this book was. It was boring. The world building had no real gravity to it. I couldn't picture the world as our own, thrown in a couple of gods and goddesses just casually roaming the streets waiting to smite someone if you step on their shoe. There was none of that. It just, like, I feel like if she had taken out the entire god thing, it would be fine. Like, nothing would change. Nothing would change. There was just a lack of romance. It was just lacking in so many aspects, and I was so disappointed because, again, cover gorgeous, the premise interesting, execution lacking. And I just don't know how you managed to make, like, literally you have Hades and Persephone, which are very complex characters in Greek myth in general. Like, there are so many iterations of them, not only within the original canon of the mythology, but then just with fan fiction and different retellings, and they're boring as fuck. How? I won't be continuing on with the series, but I will be keeping the book because my boyfriend bought it for me, and I feel really bad about unhauling a book that he bought and he thought I would really enjoy. And the most. I know I said I wasn't going to go off a rating with these guys, but you know what? I have been heated. The oven is turned on and she's angry. I don't know what that's supposed to be. But the most disappointing book of 2021 is something in between by Melissa de la Cruz. This is a YA contemporary following young Jasmine Santos, who is, like, basically what a perfect immigrant should look like. You know, always helps mom and dad, gets good grades, cheerleading team, national scholars, yada yada. That is until she starts applying for colleges and finds out that she cannot do so because she and her family are undocumented immigrants. There were a lot of things that could have gone right with this book. A lot of it. So many things could have gone right with this book, and I was hoping for so many things to go right. I will leave my vlog and my review of this link down below so you guys can really just enjoy and understand my pain. But so many things should have gone right, and so many things went terribly wrong. This is loosely based off of Melissa de la Cruz's own struggles with her citizenship, and let's just say the solution to her situation is just as privileged as Jasmine's, and I feel like you are writing a very sensitive topic on a very difficult subject that hurts many Americans to this day on so many levels. And to write about how this was solved for you so easily because you had friends in Congress was a privileged way to discuss this very important topic. And I hated it. Like, I hated it. I just, like, there are so many different ways to approach such a topic like this, such a heavy topic that affects so many families in America and destroys them every single day, that this was just not it. And to boot, I read some reviews from some very popular booktubers on this channel that were like, yeah, so this was such an important book. Like, he discusses so many topics. I'm like, that's great, but what about it is important? The fact that she's undocumented? Like, she doesn't touch on any subjects. Like, literally, if you turned her from Filipino to French, nothing about this book changes. Nothing. She's not in touch with her identity at all. She's just American, which isn't bad, but it is, I did not like it. It's disappointing to me, and really just changed my perspective on Melissa de la Cruz as a writer, because I have enjoyed what she's written thus far on the Descendants kind of series. Mr. Loves Blue Bloods, but I guess when writing about her own like culture and ethnicity and the struggles of brown people who are immigrants, nothing. I'm gonna do an honorable mention here for y'all, and that is Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. Is an adult thriller where this young woman who hasn't been home in quite a while ends up returning home because her sister's body is found in the lake, and it is not the only way, like how her sister's body was thrown in there, like, you know, position, was not the only one that was found like that. I DNF this book. Like, I had such high hopes because I love Paula Hawkins. I loved Girl on the Train, but this one tried to mess with unreliable narrator, which literally most mystery thrillers tend to have, is an unreliable narrator. That's why everyone loves them so much. But this one was so unreliable that the amount of point of views in this was like an uncooked casserole. That made no sense. Was like a salad with too many croutons. Nope, still nothing. It just wasn't good. Like, it was just confusing, and I couldn't get a gather of the plot whatsoever. Nor could I really understand what was going on in this story at all. Like, I don't even remember what happened in this story, if it was interesting or not, but it was just not good. It just was not good. But that is it for the disappointing books of 2021. Annoyingly, I have read 66 books, 61 books this year, I think. Out of those 61 books, 17 of those have been 5 stars, which is 26% of the books that I have read. Most of them have been 3 to 4 stars. So I think everyone can agree that 2021 was just the year of us mediocre, like reading mediocre books, which isn't a bad thing, but like, man, what the heck. But if you guys like this video and want me to do more of these kinds of videos, let me know in the comments down below. But until next time, hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday season. This should be, or had a wonderful season. Happy New Year, I guess, when this video goes up. I don't even know anymore. I've been filming for like an hour and a half and my eyes are dry. But if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know. If you guys want me to do more of these, I mean, I pretty much talk about books that I enjoy or dislike at least once a month in my wrap-up, so you probably should be subscribed to me. But until next time, I hope you guys are having a wonderful time in your life. And if not, hopefully the next couple days are better for you. Bye.